0% for 72 makes this 14 Ford Escape magical. Check out the details at freedomfordwv.com before they disappear.
Welcome to another edition of For All Seasons. I'm Todd Murray, along with former WVU quarterback Fred Wyant. And Fred, the Mountaineers coming off a 33-14 homecoming win against Kansas. Always nice to win on homecoming. And we've heard some talk from some of the players and coaches that they're having some fun out there, and that's something that you can't lose sight of the fact that you're supposed to have fun out there, right?
Well, I think so, especially with college kids. I know when I played, I never had one single evening that I didn't enjoy. And that was important. And of course, if they're having fun and they win, that's it. That's what you're out there for, is to win the game. But if they're having fun, it makes it easier.
Right. An excellent defensive performance against the Jayhawks. The offensive side, not as pleased with what they did. Clint Trickett, although throwing for 302 yards and a touchdown, termed his performance horrible. How would you evaluate Clint's play against the Jayhawks?
Well, I think that anytime you throw 300 and some yards and you win the game and you don't get hurt, I think it's a great game. I thought he had a great game, and is he going to break records every single week? No, he's not. But I think he's playing well, and he should be the one that's having fun out there because he's making everything happen.
Right. You can't be great every week. The Mountaineers head to Texas Tech Saturday to take on the Red Raiders. 2 years ago, their first trip in there was not a pleasant one. They had been riding high, coming off a big win against Texas, and the Texas Tech Red Raiders really whipped them. Does something like that stick in a player's mind, the ones who were there 2 years ago?
Well, I think any time that you lose a game you should have won, or any time that you don't feel comfortable with the way you played, it sort of sticks to you a little bit. I'm trying to think. I don't think we ever lost a game like that, the Sugar Bowl against Georgia Tech. Mm-hmm. And I've said that if we played them 10 times, I think we would have beaten them 8. And so it's just something that I would think that they need to go in there with a clear mind and go in there to win the game, and especially if the other team is not doing as well as they are. Yeah.
Right. The Mountaineers sitting at three wins right now. Need 3 more to become bowl eligible. They say every game is a big one in today's college football world, and certainly you'd have to say Saturday's game is one, right?
I would think, of course, there's so many bowls and everything now, but they have to get that particular high, 6 wins. Otherwise, they don't go. It doesn't make any difference if they were 5-5 or 5-4. But so that every win is important, and they need to be ready, and that's a long ways out there, and that country is not conducive to getting out of the bus or out of the car and saying, boy, let's look around, this is beautiful. I think I'll stay an extra week.
Right, and you have to think they've still not played the top 3 teams in the league, Baylor, Oklahoma State, and Kansas State, so when you're playing one of the teams, near the bottom like Texas Tech, you really have to take advantage of that, don't you?
Well, I think so. You need to play at your best, and it gives you an opportunity to, if you would, try different things and be able to get ready for later on when you should win a game like that. It's like I wouldn't have been concerned at all about that last half that they had up here, because they had a nice lead and they got to do some things, and they found that they have some players that can play that weren't even playing, that they've discovered now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before, special teams, some good things, some not so good things. Kansas returned a punt for a touchdown. I know you've expressed a lot of concern over this. They say they're working on it, yet there seems to be at least one monumental mistake every game.
Yeah, they didn't, they don't tackle very well, and for whatever reason, they when they go down there, they, in my opinion, they go too fast, and they get down there and they just keep on going rather than stop 10 yards from the ball carrier and set up so you can just sort of move a little bit and move, and now somebody else can come over here.
Right.
And you got to make sure those gaps are filled behind there,
right,
so you don't get them. And they just haven't done that, and I don't know what the problem is, because actually it's pretty simple. It's one of the things that we had, I think, one punt run back, and that was it.
Yeah.
In the 4 years that I was there, and that was Lenny Moore. He was a great one. They didn't win the game.
Right.
So they just need to work on that, and the kicker has got to at least go over and grab a hold of him and ride him for a while till somebody comes down. Right. But they need to. That's something that they still need to work on. But I think it's the simplest thing to cure that there is out there.
Right, so something that definitely needs to get cleaned up. Fred, appreciate your time as always, and please continue to follow our WVU football coverage on thedpost.com.